Shaheen ma'am, shall we start the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Before you hand over to session, dear participant, I'll take this opportunity to introduce our esteemed speaker of the day, Dr. H. Shaheen ma'am, who is currently working as a senior professor lecturer in computing and engineering department, University of West London, United of Emirates. She received her BTech and MTech from in Anna University, Chennai, India. She completed her PhD, and her research interests include artificial intelligence, mobile and pervasive computing, blockchain technology, and many more. She has already pursued the PG program in artificial intelligence and machine learning by University of Texas. She also a blockchain developer certified by Idea Labs and Tech Mahindra Hyderabad. Madam has already published more than 40 papers in referred international journals and also has acted as a tutorial presenter for more than 10 in national and international conferences. She is an active member of many esteemed organizations such as ISTE, ASTESJ, and many more. She has already published more than 20 books, 3 book chapters, and 8 patent journals so far. Currently, she also has worked. She worked as a reviewer of many international conferences conducted so far. I'm very much grateful to you. You have accepted our request for this esteemed FDP conducted by AICTE, and Madam will be there with us today and as well as Friday, and she'll be sharing her expertise knowledge with all of us. I request all the participants to gain maximum knowledge from Madam. Madam, welcome to Presidency University and AICT on 6 days online FDP. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. That's nice of you. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. It's a truly pleasure to be here with you as a distinguished faculty members. And I would like to thank the organizing committee for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you all. So today, let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, visible, madam. Visible only.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, so before we start this session, we are going to dive into the world of Power BI, which is a powerful tool which can transform the way we handle data. I hope by now you might have understood how to create a dashboard, whether it's analyzing student performance or improving research insights, or it could be streamlining academic processes. Power BI provides us with the capability to visualize and make sense of data like never before. So, our goal today is not just to introduce you to Power BI, but also to empower you with skills and confidence to use it effectively in your teaching, research, as well as any academic decision making. So, by end of this session, that is all 6 days, I hope you will be able to take away not just theoretical knowledge, but also practical skills. And you will be able to start creating your own reports, dashboards, or enabling any data driven decisions for your personal academic growth as well as for your institution. Most of the session resource persons might have covered the practical part, but to start with, I would like to give an overview of theoretical aspects, then we'll get into the practical sense. So first we should understand what is Power BI as business intelligence tool. So this is one of the most popular visualization and business intelligence tool, and it has collection of applications. You will have lot of data connectors, software services, which can be used to get data from different data sources. So you can transform those data and we will be able to produce useful reports. So these services are actually based on software as a service, that is a cloud platform, And mobile Power BI apps are also available for different platforms. So these services will be used by business users, not only by business users to consume data, but also by anyone who wants to build powerful reports. So let's start with the data exploration. Okay, so where you can analyze the data and provide some actionable information. So this will be useful for making the decisions easily. So this BI refers to applications, technologies, as well as any analysis integration to present the business information. So the purpose here is to support better decision making. So hope you have understood the importance, like by how we are improving the access to firms data and then using the data to increase profitability. Okay, this you might have understood. So with these tools we will be able to derive new revenues. You can also increase efficiency, you can optimize your internal business process, decision making, and it helps you to gain competitive advantage over business rivals. So there are a variety of tools available like mobile BI, real-time BI, open source, collaborative BI, online analytical processing, ad hoc analytics, many things are there. So here Power BI is data visualization and business intelligence tool, which is helping us to convert data from different sources to interactive dashboards and also BI reports. So here this interactive visualizations is actually self-service business intelligence capabilities, where the end users can create report and dashboards by themselves without having to depend on any IT staff or admin. Can anyone tell me why do we need Power BI? Any significant reason other than this? We know that it can allow you to develop real-time dashboard updates. It also allows you to explore the data using natural language query, and it also have features like regularly updating with the community, all that. Can you tell me any other reason that you are looking for?
It simplifies the approach to interact with data.
True, very true. And we have Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, Power Map, and Power BI service and data catalog. So many components are available here. So which are the sources preferably we use here? Data sources. Which are the data sources you have connected, you have practiced?
Microsoft Excel,
Mm,
SS, SQL database,
true, correct. Then
X,
have you practiced
Excel.
transforming the data?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, which is helping you to pre-process and clean the data and shape it according to your requirement. And then
Yes.
finally, we go for developing the reports, which is your data modeling. So let's also see about the architecture. I don't know whether you are aware of this. So it has three phases mainly. Okay, the first two phases, if you see, it is extract, transform, and load. Okay, that is ETL. And this is a process to handle the data. So in the data integration, we actually, any organization that needs to deal with the data, and it will be obtaining sources from different places. Okay, so first it will extract the data from different sources, which could be a separate database or it could be server. Then the data will be integrated into a standard format, and finally it will be stored at common area that's called staging area. Okay, so then after this process we do the processing. So still integrated data is not ready for visualization because the data needs processing before it can be presented. So it needs to be pre-processed. That's what we saw here at transformation. So the missing values or redundant values will be removed from the data sets, and you can also clean it as per your requirement and consistency. Then after that, business rules will be applied to the data, and then it transforms into presentable data. So then this data will be loaded into the data warehouse. So data presentation will be the one where once the data is loaded and processed, it can be visualized much better with the use of various visualization, and those visualizations are offered by Power BI. So by using dashboard and reports, we can represent the data more intuitively, and these visual reports will help business end users to take decisions based on the insights. So this is the overview of Power BI architecture. So the advantage of this is it can secure us report publishing, and that is, you can automate setup data. It will allow users to avail the latest information. So interaction will be there even after publishing, and no memory and speed constraints are here. And it has good technical support. It doesn't need specialized technical support. Very simple to use, and you will have your rich personalized dashboard. Okay. Can anyone tell me any drawbacks or disadvantages that you have observed in Power BI? The first thing is dashboards and reports are only shared with the users who are having the same email domains. Okay, that is one drawback we have. And here in Power BI, we will not be able to merge imported data that is accessed from real-time sources, real-time connections. Okay, then it can accept file size maximum of 250 MB only. And dashboard will also, it won't accept or pass
Hello.
user account to any other entity parameters.
Sorry for interrupt, ma'am.
Yes,
Real-time connection means it's a connection with the dynamic website or
dynamic
live
website
server.
that we do like scraping and all. When you do for scraping, web scraping to extract the data, it won't be possible.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So very few data sources permit real-time connections to Power BI reports, but not real, which is streaming data cannot be possible. Okay, I hope you all have installed Power BI, right?
Ma'am, in the data visualization, there is a option for Python scripts.
Yes,
Do Python scripts cannot help for real-time scraping, ma'am, as it has?
but you have limitations. It will be having limited capability and not for all kind of data.
Okay, fine.
So I'm skipping the installation part. I hope you all are aware of it. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we
Yes,
are
ma'am.
introducing measures and calculated columns here. So measures are like dynamic calculations, which is performed on aggregated data like average, sum, and all that. Then you can also create DAX. DAX is data analysis expressions. Okay, I hope you have a separate session for that. And calculations will be performed at the time of report interaction. That is measures. Whereas calculated columns are like you will have static calculations, which is directly added to a table, and you can calculate row by row whenever the data model is refreshing, and that will be stored in the data model, increasing its size. Okay, so what is the key difference between these measure and calculated columns? See, measures are dynamic and aggregative, whereas calculated columns are static and it is done row by row, one at a time. Okay, and storage, if you see, measures cannot be stored in the model, whereas columns can be stored in the data model. And performance impact will be like measures are lightweighted, where you can recalculate dynamically, but columns are huge in size, so they affect the refresh time. Okay, have you ever experienced the error while loading some of the tools visualization charts? You need to either restart or you have to refresh for several times in order to load that particular tool. Okay, we have that problem here. And usage is like you can use visuals and aggregates for measures, whereas for calculated columns we prefer using slices, filters, and grouping. Okay, so you should know when to use each. Now, see, visualizations is easy. You know, the dashboard creation is simple, but how to use, when to use, and how good you are in your creativity, that matters. Okay, so you need calculations that aggregate data dynamically, like total and average, when you are using measures. And you want better performance, you should avoid bloating the data model. Also, the calculations will depend on the slices or the report filters. And calculated columns are used whenever you wanted to create categories or groupings. For example, like high, medium, low. If you wanted to indicate something like this, then you can prefer using calculated columns. The calculated value will need to be used as filter, or it can be used as part of the relationship. So here you will have static row level calculations, which is sufficient for calculated columns. So if you see, the best practices, you can minimize the use of calculated columns and prefer using measures for performance. Okay. And you can use consistent naming conventions, and it could be descriptive. Okay. Make it descriptive. And also avoid redundant calculations, because reusing measures in other measures will be complicating. Okay. So avoid that. And using DAX formulas, you can optimize by avoiding overly complex logic. So why does this visualization matter? So here we are creating compelling visualizations, right? Why does this visualization matter? Transforming raw data into actionable insights. Okay, so the role of visual storytelling is important in decision making. So visualization plays a vital role here. So here we need to understand how the design is going to impact the charts, and we should know how to master the formatting techniques for clarity and appealing nature. And one should know how to effectively use the filters for dynamic data exploration. So there, for charts, when it comes about charts, variety of charts which is available. So choosing the right chart for your data is important. So when we can use bar chart or column chart whenever you wanted to compare across the categories, and line charts can be used for trends over time. Pie charts or donut charts can be used for parts of whole or proportions. Similarly, scatter plots or bubble charts can be used for relationships and distributions. Are you aware of heat maps?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when we can prefer that using heat maps? If you wanted to observe patterns and densities, then you may prefer using heat maps. If you are aware of ML concepts, you will be knowing the correlation between the different values. So in such circumstances, we prefer using heat maps. And geographical insights, what tool do we have for displaying geographical insights?
Field map.
Maps.
Maps, very good. Maps. That's correct. Okay, so in this charts and formatting, the best thing is you should avoid chart clutter. Okay, less chart clutters are better, and you have to prioritize readability and simplicity. When you design this, your priority must be for readability and simplicity. Chart formatting is also important because we have to use contrasting colors for clarity to avoid overly bright or similar tones. And you need to choose clean and professional fonts for consistent sizes. Then labels and legends will be there as a field in the visualization tab, where you can ensure they are descriptive but not overwhelming. So you can highlight key data points using any annotations or conditional formatting in your dashboard. And then you can use the grid lines and axes to avoid visual noise. Then we have filters, which is available in latest installations. Okay, filters are added in the latest ones. So what are filters? They are the tools to refine and slice data for specific insights. So we have variety of filters like category filter, time filter, advanced filter. So filter data will be based on categories like regions and products. Time filters are like you can analyze the data for specific periods. Okay, like month, year, all that. Advanced filters are like you can apply the conditions for when you wanted to filter top 10 or greater than X kind of applications, you can use it. So these are all the interactive features, like you have slices, filters with various options, and they enable you to view the visuals in appealing manner. Then we have enhanced reports with some interaction, and which are possible through slices, drill throughs, and cross filtering. Okay, slices can help us to create dynamic dashboards. Okay, and drill throughs, I think these hands-on sessions are covered by Miss Neetu. So I'm just giving you overview of it, and we'll deep dive into the other concept. Drill throughs are enabling us to have a detailed views from the summaries, and cross filtering will enable you to have interactions between the visuals. So okay, this will help you to switch between them, and you can combine this chart formatting and filters for good impact. Like when you build a dashboard, you can select the visuals that complement each other, and you can use formatting to ensure that they are consistent and visually appealing. Then you can implement these filters for user driven exploration based on their case study. So for example, if you are creating a sales performance dashboard for of a retail chain, then you can do whatever I have suggested. Now if you apply all that, you will be able to see that. I'll be showing some examples for the same. So some pitfalls are there, and you have to avoid them while using these enhancing reports. Like too much information should not be there. When you are using charts, you make sure that they are not overcrowded with data. Okay, and poor chart selection will also be spoiling your dashboard. So using the wrong chart for the story that you want to tell will not make sense. And neglecting accessibility, like if you are failing to consider color blindness or readability, then definitely it will not make good impact. And also make sure that you don't have unclear legends or labels, which will be confusing, and you might have missing information. So slices, they provide very intuitive way for users where you can filter the data within the report. So in this way, you can have multi-selection options, dynamic filtering. Multi-selection is like it will be offering you flexibility to analyze multiple categories simultaneously. And ease of use, I mean to say that the drag and drop capabilities will make the slices accessible for all the users. So you can use hierarchy slices for multi-level filtering. Multi-level filtering, like you have a year. If you wanted to drag to the month through the year and to the day, then date, then you can go for this hierarchy slices. Format slices with clear labels and logical grouping will be there for better experience, user experience. And in the drill down, you have to explore the data hierarchies. Like, see, when you empower the user to explore granular levels of data seamlessly, then you have to use this hierarchical data and detailed insights, where you can break down the data into levels such as region or state, city. Similarly, you will be able to provide detailed insights, like providing context for aggregated metrics. So how do you implement that? You have to define the hierarchies in your data model. You can enable the drill through actions on visuals like bar charts or line charts. Then you can use the focus mode for detailed analysis of your specific visuals. For formatting, you can create a visual impact. Like effective formatting will ensure that your report is not only for functional but also for visually appealing use. So here you should make sure your color schemes and themes are maintained in a consistent color pattern, which is aligned with your organizational branding. And you can use contrasting colors for clarity and emphasis. In addition, you may also use some conditional formatting here, like highlighting the important data trends, red color for negative growth or green color for positivity, like that. And you can apply dynamic formatting based on threshold of rules. And the layout and alignment. So you can use grids or snap to grid features for precise alignment. And you have to make sure that you have optimized spacing to avoid clutter, and it will enhance readability. Next is sharing and publishing Power BI reports. I'll just tell you the method because this is also another session. So you have three ways of sharing your Power BI reports. One is direct sharing. Okay, in the direct sharing, you can share the reports directly with the individual users via the email, or the recipients can view the report in the Power BI service. So this will be suitable for limited audiences. You can publish this to, this is first method, direct sharing. Second is you can publish it to Power BI service. So you can upload the reports to the Power BI service, which is a cloud platform. And this through this, you can enable online access and real-time collaboration. And one more is you can embed it in applications or websites. Okay, you can embed the reports into the apps or into the SharePoint or websites. So this will allow external stakeholders to view the reports in a secure manner. And one more thing is, finally, you can do one more option, which is exporting it to file formats like PDF, PPT, or Excel files. And it would be useful for offline access or for formal presentations. So these are the methods for sharing the Power BI reports. Publishing is, you can create a report. You know the steps for publishing. First, you will be building your report in the Power BI desktop. Then you will optimize the target audience. Then just sign into your Power BI service using your organizational credentials. And then publish the report, like file, publish to Power BI service. And you can select the desired workspace. So in this, you just ensure the report is appearing in the selected workspace and just test the instructions so that it is valid. Now, when we talk about collaboration, there are two workspaces. One is shared workspace and the personal workspace. So personal workspace will be designed for individual use, or you can have it for limited sharing capabilities. Shared workspaces is for collaborative environments for teams. So you can manage the access level here like viewer, contributor, member, and admin. So the dashboards will combine visualizations from multiple reports, and you can provide high-level summaries for quick insights. And also it can be provided in mobile like Power BI apps, where the package reports and dashboards will be available as an app. And this will simply, you can distribute to large audience in this way. Security and permissions also important here, like role level security, where you can restrict the data access based on the user roles, and make sure that you're configuring the roles in Power BI desktop and you're applying them in Power BI service. So the permissions will be like, you can define who can view, edit, or share the reports. So Azure Active Directory for enterprise level security can be used here. And also data sensitivity labels are important, because certain data are sensitive and which is not for sharing. So you have to apply labels to classify and protect the sensitive data, and also make sure whether it is ensuring compliance with your organizational policies. So always optimize the report, you can, so that you can ensure fast loading and you have smooth interactions. You can document the process, where you can maintain clear documentation for report usage and updates, and make sure you're scheduling data refresh to keep your reports up to date. So analyzing usage and monitoring dashboards. So why do we need this? Why are we developing these dashboards? How it is being used by the audience? So first, we are bothered about the engagement metrics. You can see here some of the examples. That is a dashboard with interactions and real-time data. I mean, interactions. So here you can see there is engagement metric, which is reflecting, which shows active users. That is, you can track the number of active users and their frequency of interaction, the time they spent interacting with the dashboard, and they can track where the users are clicking or filtering data to understand engagement levels. And regarding the performance metrics, You can check how fast your dashboards are loading and their impact on the user experience. And data accuracy. So you can ensure the metrics are presented accurately and up to date. You can also add feedback here, like collecting qualitative data on user experience to measure the satisfaction level. Similarly, this can in the feedback level, you can also have a loop for improvement, like using surveys and feedback. You can have a loop for further improvement. Now comes the real-time application like business metrics. So you can connect this dashboard performance to real business outcomes like sales, customer retention, healthcare. Okay, that makes sense. So there are some tools for monitoring and analyzing this dashboards. Like you have usage metrics, Google Analytics for dashboards, where you can leverage the Google Analytics to track user visit, interaction, session duration for external dashboards. Similarly, third-party tools are also there like Datadog, Grafana, which will help to monitor dashboard performance. So data logging and tracking are like you can implement how the logging systems are going to track your user interaction, and you can identify which dashboards are most valuable. So you can also use custom logging solutions like log file analysis or API monitoring. So on the whole, if you see, you must be using this for usability. You should have continuous improvement where you will be regularly updating the dashboard based on the usage insights and user feedback. And also quality data, like continuously validating the data accuracy and integrity, where you can feed your dashboard with timelines. Okay, so it also ensures personalization and customization. So sales performance dashboard, we will see that, as well as healthcare, where we can discuss how the usage analysis and monitoring help the salesperson or a sales team to optimize their dashboard for better decision making. And with the interaction, you'll be able to track and you can reveal the insights, how frequently the data view points are viewed, and you can optimize the data filtering options as well. Now you have certain challenges here, like data privacy concerns are there. We should ensure to secure access while monitoring usage, and make sure that you don't have overloading users or irrelevant metrics in your dashboard. If your dashboard is loading slow, then performance issues are because of the large data sets. So you should transform your data once again. So for all this, you can implement access controls and make sure that you have proper data governance practices. And regular feedback is essential for improvement. Now, why this is important for faculty? So importance of this data driven decisions in academia is because we need to understand the growing importance of data in higher education institutions. Okay, like how data analytics can improve academic performance, student engagement, and operational efficiency. So for that, we are defining this self-service analytics, that is SSA. So tools and platforms are available which will help you to access and analyze such data, and you can interpret the data without relying on any specialist. So that's the reason this FDP is meant for. And you will be independent as a faculty, you will be independent to work with any data, reducing the dependency on technical teams. Similarly, it is efficient so that It enables you for faster decision making, and you can customize your data analysis. Like it could be for specific research or teaching needs. So how do you prepare this self-service analytics platform? You just need to drag and drop the interface, make it easy to create a dashboard with the pre-built templates and widgets. It will help you to save time in visualizing and analyzing the common data metrics, which is meant for academics. And then real-time data integration, like you can connect with institutional database and you can enable up-to-date information access. So in higher education, as I told you, it is meant for tracking student progress, retention rate, predicting academic outcomes. So for research, if you see, we can use this to streamline data analysis for research projects and publications. For curriculum development, this data insights will be taken for course effectiveness, student engagement, and feedback analysis. You can enhance your teaching and learning, where you can have analyzing the student performance data to teaching strategies and resources, which can be tailored with this personalized learning. And it also helps you to identify the learning gaps whenever there are students who are struggling, and if you wanted to suggest, then you can go for this analytics. In the research outcome also, you can analyze the hypothesis testing, presentation, research analysis. Wherever you have large data sets, that can be quickly handled here with Power BI. You can also streamline the administrative task. If you are in admin roles, you can analyze the teaching effectiveness, student evaluations, research output, and also analyze the resource utilization, underused resources, and with all that, you can optimize your budgets. So on the whole, it is going to foster data literacy among the faculty. Like it builds confidence when the members have access to SSA tools. They become more confident in working with the data, and professionally they will be developing by enhancing their data skills, which will be beneficial for both personal as well as institutional growth. Okay, so let's get into the practice. I hope you all are aware of this. When you open the dashboard, you will be able to see the tabs here. This all is meant for ribbon interface. Okay, and each of them is a tab, and you have commands here, which is called as command groups. Then you can see the report view here. So you will have 3 to 4 options here based on your downloaded in version. You can see here here you can visuals, then you have your query, then DAX analysis will be available. Then you can have you can add number of pages in your dashboards. And this area is the canvas. Okay. Then you have 3 panes here. One is filter pane, then you have visualization pane, and then the data sources. Okay. In the data pane, you will be loading your data. Okay. So here you can see a dashboard which is developed for elective hip replacement surgical with the data set. I'll be sharing you by end of the session all this. You can practice. So for improving the efficiency for maintaining high quality patient care, which is the top priority in the healthcare, this dashboard was developed with Power BI, where they have explored a real world data set to uncover the hospital efficiency insights. So here I can analyze the attributes which is impacting the patient's length of stay, LOS's length of stay, okay, and the cost. And we worked to identify factors which is contributing to hospital differences. So with the DAX skills, we can create measures and you can generate the insightful visualization. So all this is brought together here in a sophisticated business dashboard to communicate the insights to the team. So first what we have done here is data modeling, then exploratory data analysis, then root cause analysis, then DAX calculations, and finally the report is designed. So this is health stat. This company is health stat, where we are trying to uncover the insights on potential hospital efficiency opportunities. So here we have patient level data on all hospital stays in a single year for elective hip replacement strategies, I mean surgeries across the state of New York. So here you have a single table with 30 columns in the data set. Each row in the data set is representing a single inpatient stay from their admission to discharge date. So the health information in this data set is not individually identifiable, which means the file does not contain any personal health information. Okay, so the data set has some key attributes to analyze the efficiency, like length of stay, which is measured in total days, and total cost, which is attributed to each hospital stay. So with the facility ID, with the age group, patient disposition, diagnosis description, and the severity of illness, all this put together, there are several quality metrics to be considered here. But in this case study, the focus is only on efficiency, which is all about avoiding waste. So we are trying to minimize the waste of equipment, supplies, ideas, and energy. So length of stay is considered an important indicator of the efficiency of hospital management, and it is calculated as total duration in days of the patient stay in the hospital. So if you have shorter length of stay, then it is often desirable in hospital operations. So many factors can impact LOS. Can you suggest any? Which are the factors which impact minimal length of stay? Which attributes are directly related to that?
Fast recovery.
Yes, which is based on patient's age,
Yeah, age,
mm,
health.
health status, right? If they don't have any other side effects or other diseases, and the type of surgery which they have undergone, the procedure that is being done, or whether or not whether they have any complications and all that. Also, the size of the hospital matters. If you don't have sufficient beds, then you will always try to discharge immediately, right? So these
Yeah.
are some of the things which is encountered
Facilities.
throughout this, yes, facilities. So inpatient means, patient person who has been admitted to the hospital bed, and discharge is the release of the patient. So disposition is the patient destination or status upon discharge, for instance, to another facility or home, that is disposition. And elective surgery, these are the things which is included here in this case study. So the focus here is patients who received hip replacement surgery, only they are focused, and bit of background on what this procedure is all about. And patients with hip pain, typically like arthritis, that may require elective hip replacement surgery. So damaged bone or cartilage are also included here. So based on all this, the hospital stay was ranging from 0 to 2 days, or it sometimes it was more days. Okay. So first the data was loaded into the Power Query editor to investigate it if any errors are there, and some exploratory analysis was done. And after removing all the rows of data where the description was not other than hip replacement, okay, all the other rows were deleted from the data set. Then you can create a measure where the table is going to host my measure, like you can call it as total hospitals to show the distinct count of hospitals. Okay, after creating the measures to analyze the hospital total, you can visualize how these measures are
Ma'am,
going to get there. Yes.
are you showing the table, ma'am?
No, no, no. I'll be sharing the table with you. How this was created, I'm just explaining where I am expecting you to
Okay.
practice.
Okay.
Or shall I post the data set? Will you try? May I post the data set?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam. You can share it to Akshada or you can share it to me so that we will
In the
share to
chat
the
window,
participants.
is the chat window enabled? No.
Chat window
Okay.
is also enabled here.
Okay, I'll share to Akshata now.
Yeah, madam.
So to build an understanding of patient profile, you can just explore the demographics such as age, gender, and you can create a measure like total discharge. Okay, that's what has been done here. Here. And it is stored in measures table. Okay, so here the clinical advisor will be doing some of the tasks like breakdown of patients aged 50 and elder. So they modified the visualization of gender distribution by age group to account for this change. So after establishing some key information about the total hospital and discharge, we can show some interesting demographics on the patient profile. So this is my idea. If you have your own creativity, you can work in a different way. The objective is to find out the minimum LOS and eliminate wastage. Okay. So it was time to explore how length of stay was varied across different demographic fields. So if you use different strategy, it will be varying. So here it was created by measuring average LOS days to calculate the average length of stay days, and it is stored in the measures table. So two visualizations you can see that to show the average length of days by age group and gender and hospitals, different hospitals. So to do this, you have to create new column and you just need to mention the name of the field.
Ma'am, in the previous slide, you have
Yes.
embedded two graphs together in one. That
Yeah.
is bar and line chart.
Yes.
So, how do we do that?
You can, that is custom visualization, which we will be seeing in the next session.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You can also try, if you have the advanced version, uh, if you're not using organizational one, you can try with combo chart. The visualizations pane. If you just try using combo chart icon, where you can see stacked one and clustered one. And with that, you'll be able to add data to the value section and you can use it. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So this is what I was discussing about. Separately, you have to do for gender, disposition, risk of mortality. So you have to identify the attributes which will be impacting the results. So can you tell me how this is created? Which all the attributes used here?
Gauge. Gauge visualize.
Gods, yes, cards. So you can see here the total hospitals was here, which is displaying the total number of hospitals in the data set. And this is the total number of surgeons across the hospitals and average length of stay, which was 2.65, which is representing the average duration of patient stay across all the hospitals. Okay, and total discharges, which is indicating the total number of patients discharged. Okay, total discharge. So what are the factors which is affecting this? Like extreme severity of illness. Okay, you can see here. And then risk of mortality and major risk of mortality, which was varying, like some of them were 2.69 days, few are like 9 days. Okay, so specific diagnosis, if it is there, that is also included. Then as I told you, you can also try with combo chart here. That is the total discharge for the top 15 hospitals was included here. That is the height of the bar shows the discharge volume. Okay, and line is displaying the average LOS days for each hospital. Okay, so this red color dashed line indicates how LOS changes across the hospitals. These are different hospitals. Each of the stack is a different hospital. Okay, you can identify the patterns and outliers also in this way. Then we have bar charts here. Okay, we have just identified top 3 hospitals by average LOS days. These in this. Okay, so King's Country Hospital, that is, it has only 12 days. Interfaith Medical Center have 9.33 days, and Memorial Hospitals have 9.10 days. Okay, then here you can see bottom 3 hospitals by average. This is top 3 and this is bottom 3 hospitals. So Alice Hyde, Elizabeth, and Northern Duchess Hospital. So they have 1.68, 1.56, and 1.37. So the purpose of this bar chart is to highlight extremes in the hospital performance so that it can make easier to identify the best and worst performing hospitals. Okay. Then service area filter. Can you identify which is the slicer here? Okay, in this place. Okay, this allows to select specific regions like capital or central or finger lakes to filter the data, and you can analyze the metrics for selected areas. So slices will help us for interactivity. You can allow the users to drill down into specific subsets of the data. Okay, in the next slide we have scatter plot. Okay, remaining all is same, so I'll just look into the scatter plot. In the scatter plot, you can see that the average LOS. Okay, we have average LOS, cost, average cost per discharge, and total discharge. Okay, by using this, in the x-axis we are using average LOS, and in the y-axis we have average cost per discharge. Okay, and the bubbles here represent the total discharges. Larger bubbles indicate more discharges. Okay, and color coding is representing different service areas, various regions. As you can see here, Hudson Valley, Finger Lake, these are the various regions. So the scatter plot helps us to identify the relationship between the different metrics like length of stay and cost per discharge, total discharge. So you can have variations across service areas. Then we have this bar charts, as you know. So overall here we are trying to compare the cost across the hospitals and the regions. Okay, here we have used again the slices, gauge charts and bar charts. Okay, so you can see the donut charts here for total discharge by gender and total discharge by patient disposition. And as you can see, there is 11.3% for skilled nursing. For home care, it was 10.3. So various factors are there. So the purpose here is to provide the demographic and disposition breakdowns for deeper understanding. So you can understand the hospital outcomes and patient demographics in a better way. So overall objective, if you see, the severity and risk profiles are clearly identified, cost and efficiency was identified, and discharge pattern also easily analyzed. Okay. Now the next session is, this is a outcome. Okay, I'll share the screen. I'll also share the link where the data source is available. Okay, you are not going to download the data, you will be using the online link. Can you create this dashboard? I'll also help you parallelly. Just go through this clearly, and I want you to replicate this. Yes? Would you like to do this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, the first thing is you will be inserting the image. Okay, I'll share the link for data source, and you have to replicate the same. You can add more creativity, but I want these features to be included. Okay, if you have difficulty, let me know, I'll help you. I can show you how to create. Mr. Rajan sir, are you there? Okay, are you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, I have shared the link, or you can search in the Wikipedia this name. You'll be able to get it. AIMS. I have shared the link with one of the coordinator. Okay, first you will be inserting an image. So how do you insert an image? I can show you here. So go to insert and can take the image. Okay, next you can include some text over here. Okay, text can be taken from the same source here, the Wikipedia page. And you can increase the font, make it more appealing. Okay, now have you loaded the data set? Everyone, I hope you received the link. Have you loaded the data set?
No, ma'am, we have not received. Uh, I will
Uh,
text my number. You can share that. I will put it in group, ma'am.
yeah, sure.
Can you able to see chat box, ma'am?
No, I couldn't see that. That's why I told. Yeah,
You
now,
can take.
no, still I could not see. It's not working. Is this Praveen Raj?
No, ma'am.
Yes, madam, I'm here only. Yeah.
Sir, can I share this with you?
Yeah. Please, madam. Yeah.
Once you complete the first two tasks, I can help you for loading the data set. You need to transform the data and it should be here.
Yeah, the link has been shared to all the participants. Now you can use it.
Okay, thank you. I'll give you 5 minutes time, finish off the first two tasks, then we'll load the data set.
Good evening, Sagin ma'am. Sagin ma'am, good evening.
Have you done? So if you have difficulty, I'll let you know to load the data set. Go to web, okay? Or if you have other option, you can use that. Just paste the link here. Okay, and if you give you'll get this. Here you can choose aims and location. Because we are going to deal with map as well, I would prefer you to use this second option, aims and location. Okay.
Ma'am, can you please repeat this?
Yes. Go to get data. Have you all opened your Power BI? If you don't have this option web here, it will be in the other option. Okay. From there, choose web. Okay, after choosing that option, just give the link over here and give OK. So you'll be able to see the tables from the source which we have provided. I suggest you to use the second option because we need locations as well. So I suggest you to use the second option. Okay, and don't give load, give transform data, because you can see that the data needs to be cleaned. Okay, it is not a pure form of data, so it requires transformation. Cleaning must be done, pre-processing is required. So just give transform data. Okay, if you give transform data, you will be getting this. And here I suggest you to use certain steps, like this is the one which has to be cleaned, right? This one is fine, these two columns. So for this column, go to split column and use by delimiter and give leftmost delimiter. Okay, because you're going to remove those brackets. Okay, so split the column by delimiter, choose the option split column, then choose the delimiter option, then give leftmost delimiter and give OK. Now you can see that that has been segregated from this column. Okay, so this column we don't need, which can be removed. Just simply remove it. And you can also see the history of steps, sequence of steps that you perform for this current data set. Okay, and here again you can see there are some brackets which has to be cleaned again. Okay, so again you can go to split column, then by delimiter, use the first option leftmost delimiter and give OK. So you'll be able to see this. I would see that when you are trying to process this, you cannot do a text and numeric together. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to replace this text value. So because it is under construction and it is not yet done, we can just for now we can give some other value like replace values, use replace values. And in the replace values for under construction, let us give 2025. Okay, then again you have announced. For announced we can use 2024 for in just dummy value. Then again we have one more value proposed. For proposed, let us give us 2023. Then site selection done. We can make it 2026. Okay. Okay, now all of them have been cleaned. Here also for easiness, okay, for user friendliness, what you can do, you can rename this column like announcement year. Similarly, here also you can change it as establishment year. Established year. Announced will be easier. Okay, so this is the delimited value which can be removed. Then city town is perfect. Similarly, state is also perfect. Face is also done. Status, again, this has to be delimited.
Ma'am, is there any way
Yes.
to undo the column that is deleted by mistakenly?
No, you can reload it. And you
Oh,
try Control Z. For some cases, it
no,
works.
I tried, but actually it didn't work.
So you can reload it.
Okay.
There is no option to undo, ma'am.
Undo Control Z works.
Control Z is not working.
It should work. See, I have done. See,
Okay.
now I have removed. If I give Control Z, it will come.
Okay, it's not working in our case.
Only for deleted items, it won't work. If you are modifying, it may work.
Okay.
Okay. Then next NIRF ranking, it's fine. We can go with this. Similarly, this is not fine. So what we can do here, replace value. This can be replaced as 132. Okay, so that you have a single form. Yeah. I think it's perfect now. Okay, once it is done, you can see the type of changes that you have made. I think this null can be replaced, right? As blank. Once you are done, just give close and apply. I have already loaded it, so it will be duplicated now. I'll be using the previous one. Okay. Okay. The next thing that we have to do is, can you see the loaded data now? Clean the data, right? We need these panes now. So what you can do here, go to status and group the status. Okay. New group. Right click and give new group. Here you can group those are functional, which is operating. Okay. So remaining we can leave it. Once the fully operational or active ones can be grouped together and remaining can be left. Okay. So once you do that, you will get a new value like this. And this can be used in your visual. Let's use the card. Okay. Here we can bring this to a visual form. Okay, can you see this? And for the x-axis, you can give some title. Next, go back to the table and then let us create a new column. Okay, in the new column, what we are trying to do is we will be trying to map the year of announcement and or establishment, okay, anything with the prime ministers who have inaugurated this AIMS. Okay, so based on the year, roughly, let me try. So we will have the name as established by if the table name is AIMS location. In that, I would consider this announced year. If the announced year is 1952, then it would be okay. Similarly, if 2003, let us consider okay, then all others are above 2000. One is 2012, right? So for that, again, Manmohan Singh. All otherwise, it is okay. So we can close it. Have you done with that? So once you do that, you will have a new column created over here with these values. Are you getting this? You just mentioned the name of the table, then the column in which you wanted to process, then the field value, then the new value to be replaced. Okay, this is the name of the new column to be created. Okay, once you do this, you will be able to.
Ma'am, should we insert a new column and do this?
Yes, go to new column, and after keeping the cursor over there, in this area, you have to type this.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, then come back to the visual, you will be able to see this. So we are done with this. After doing that, you can create this bar chart. I hope you are aware of creating the bar chart. So the new column, and that is the established by, and the year of announcement, both together we have created this bar chart. Then you will work on this. Since this is, you have to create, because we are running out of time, I'll just narrate you. You can try it, and in the next session we can still continue. So this is table which is created here. Okay, the table is here. Using that table, you are including 4 different values like name, established year, and then announced year. And this we can calculate again in the query. We can calculate the time to complete, which is from the establishment minus the announced year, like this. Okay, so if you can calculate, you will get the difference time built. Yes. Okay, so once the table is done, now I would request you to include the map function here and just display a bubble for the states, for the state or union territory. You can include a map over here. With that, this dashboard will be done. This basic visuals will be done. In the forthcoming session, I have still 2 more case studies to explore with interactions. We will start with that and we'll continue with the custom visuals. Anyway, the data set is shared with you. Try this and we will get back with this. If you have difficulties or if you have any queries, please, you can feel free to ask now.
Thank you, Shaheen ma'am. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can just ask ma'am.
Good evening. Thank you for such a wonderful session, insightful and hands-on. Ma'am, could you please share the PPT slides, ma'am, for
Sure, I will share it.
Mr.
I'll share to your coordinator. They will be sharing it across.
And one more thing, ma'am, the links that you have shared, the links will, whenever we want to access the link will work, no, ma'am?
Yes, link should work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Coordinators, please share the video recording so that we can run through this and be prepared for the next session.
Yes, ma'am. Within 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be sharing the
Thank
video
you,
recording.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
You can share your PPT in through mail, ma'am. I will share that
Sure,
also.
I'll do that.
Parts.
Yes.
Ma'am, if
Participants,
I need to ask one query.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, if I share a link which is showing consistency between change in data, and if I have connected the same link through Power BI, and if there are certain changes which is occurring for every say 1 hour, so will that change will be get reflected in the data set or the modeling data which we have done on
Yes, in
behalf
the
of that link?
modeling, it will reflect. Yes, in the modeling, during interaction, it occurs.
That
is
means
dynamic.
matlab, live data can be processed in Power BI.
Yes, but with limited capability.
If I create a dashboard, and in that dashboard, if I'm using some visualizations, and simultaneously the data is getting changed from the source, and the source is that
Of
particular
course,
link.
see, I can show you such things. See, I wanted to explore this because we are running out of time. I couldn't get into this. I will be continuing this next
Okay,
session.
okay, fine,
You
fine,
can see
fine.
here. You can see here. This is a dashboard which is already ready. Now I can change. This is what you meant, right?
Yes. Through
Yes.
link, if the data is getting changed on the website consistently, the
Yes.
same changes will be get reflected in Power BI, or we need
Of
to
course.
refresh for manually refresh or
No, no, no.
something.
This is working instantly.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay. So you
okay,
can see this kind of changes. You can modify according to your need.
okay. Okay. That's all. Thank you.
Hope all the participants are done with the queries.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Suppose, ma'am, some website have some copyright content, and we are inserting that particular URL in the Power BI through web. So, is there any alert we are getting through Power BI, or we have to go for a detailed study in the website?
So we in the
What?
while entering the link, you have two options: basic and advanced. If you use advanced, you'll be able to give in detail everything: the URL, the port number, IP, whatever you wish.
Okay.
Okay. I think we can end the session for the day. Thank you, Dr. Shaheen ma'am. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to you for such an enlightening and thought-provoking session. Your knowledge, insights, engaging approach have truly enhanced our understanding of the subject, especially. On behalf of Presidency University, I'm really grateful for the time and effort you have invested in preparing and presenting such a valuable content. On behalf of everyone present here, participants, our HOD, and all other people, staff of President's University, I would like to express heartfelt thanks for your contribution. We hope we have a much more learning session in the upcoming Friday session. Thank you once again, Dr. Shaheen ma'am, for such an enriching session.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you. Dear participants, thank you for joining day 3 sessions, both the session. Hope you all have had a good learning phase. I would like to share this recording session shortly by within 10 to 15 minutes in the same Google Drive link. Thank you. Thank you one and all. Good night.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Good night.